Very good evening and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV, a complete roundup of the day's biggest news stories. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Let us begin with the headlines. Both houses of parliament adjourned for the day after uproar over demonetization issue. Combined opposition says House should mourn deaths caused by hardships in withdrawing currency notes. In a major concession to farmers, government allows the seed purchase with old 500 rupee notes to be valid at outlets belonging to the central or state governments. In Kanpur, a death toll in the Indore-Patna Express derailment mounts to 143. All 14 derailed coaches removed from tracks, 83 injured passengers hospitalized. India conducts twin trials of the Prithvi 2 missile. The surface-to-surface missile with a strike range of 350 kilometers is capable of carrying 500 and 1,000 kilograms of warheads. And in cricket, India beat England by 246 runs in the second test at Visakhapatnam. Ashwin and Jayant Yadav take 3 wickets each. Skipper Virat Kohli declared man of the match. Now, top story, the impasse over the demonetization issue stalled proceedings in the Rajya Sabha on Monday. A united opposition insisted on condoling the loss of lives caused by hardships due to the withdrawal of high-value currency notes. Meanwhile, the government hit out at the opposition for disrupting the proceedings while stating that it was ready for a discussion on demonetization. Well, as the government and the opposition locked horns, the House saw several adjournments throughout the day. The demonetization issue paralysed proceedings in the Rajya Sabha once again on the 4th day of the winter session of Parliament. After the House mourned the deaths due to the derailment of the Indore-Patna Express, opposition Congress, PSP, TMC and CPIM demanded a resolution condoling the deaths caused by demonetization.
ये जो 70 लोग अभी पिछले 15 दिन में लाइन में खड़े होकर पूरे देश में मर गए हैं, वो भी तो हमारे देशवासी हैं, वो भी गरीब हैं, किसान हैं, मजदूर हैं, उनके लिए भी तो यहाँ एक चेयर की तरफ से रेजोल्यूशन आना, यही हमारी मांग है।
जो बड़े नोटों पर जो पाबंदी लगाई है, जिसको लेकर काफी लोग मर चुके हैं, कोई भूखे रहकर, कोई प्यासे रहकर, कोई किसी को दवा नहीं मिली है, कोई सदमे से मर गए हैं, कोई बच्चों की शादी नहीं कर पाए, उससे मर गए हैं, उनका क्या होगा?
Nearly 70 people have died.
There is no such notice from you.
The House should express their sorrow and grief on that. A obituary reference on that must be there.
Leading government charge, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley lashed out at the opposition and alleged that the opposition parties were running away from the debate on demonetization.
उस पे बहस आरंभ हो चुकी है, बहस चल रही है, कुछ माननीय सदस्यों ने बोलना है, बहस का उत्तर देना है, विपक्ष उस बहस से भाग क्यों रहा है? Why are they running away from that debate?
Meanwhile, the chair clarified that obituary references cannot be taken up suo moto.
Obituary is not done by censor house. What are you talking?
You can't be so insensitive.
Obituary is not done by taking the censor house.
You can't be so insensitive.
No. And what is the authenticity of the number you are saying?
But the angry exchanges continued between the Treasury and the opposition benches. While opposition members entered the well, demanding the Prime Minister's response on demonetization, ruling party members moved to the aisle, pressing for an immediate discussion, washing out 0 hour and question hour.
Authenticity of the number you are speaking. And obituary is not done by in this way.
The deadlock continued even in the post-lunch session. With no imminent resolution amid heated verbal exchanges, the chair first adjourned the House till 3 p.m. and then till 11 a.m. on Tuesday. This is Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV. Meanwhile, proceedings in the Lok Sabha too were disrupted for the 4th consecutive day on Monday. The issue again was demonetization. Now, even as the government expressed a willingness for a discussion, the opposition insisted that question hour be suspended for a debate.
proceedings began on Monday, opposition parties were up in arms on the demonetization issue. Congress, TMC, left parties, NCP, RJD and JDU MPs demanded that the question hour be stalled to discuss the problems being faced by the common man. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anant Kumar said the government was ready for a discussion under Rule 193.
आम जनता के, आम नागरिक के, किसानों के हर कठिनाई निवारण करने के लिए मोदी सरकार तैयार है, मैं आश्वस्त करना चाहूंगा। इसलिए इस विषय के बारे में वो चर्चा करे, बहस करे, उस बहस का जवाब देने के लिए हम तैयार हैं।
The Congress party's leader in the House, Mallikarjun Kharge, said the opposition was united in its demand that a discussion be held under Rule 56.
जनता के ग्रीवेंसेस को आपके सामने रखने के लिए आए हैं। जनता को जो तकलीफ हो रही है, लाइन में खड़े हुए लोग जो मर रहे हैं, उनके तरफ से हजारों लोग जो इंजर्ड हो गए हैं और आज अर्थव्यवस्था खत्म हो चुकी है।
Earlier, Speaker Sumitra Mahajan had turned down the opposition's demand, appealing to them to let the House function. As opposition uproar continued, the Speaker first adjourned the House till 12 p.m., then 2 p.m. and then till Tuesday. Pranav Goswami's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, outside Parliament, now extending a huge relief to cash-strapped rural India, the centre on Monday allowed farmers to buy seeds with old currency notes ahead of the Rabi harvesting season. Now, with the central government busy in defending its biggest economic reform, several opposition parties have joined hands to take on the government.
Ahead of the Rabi season, the centre on Monday announced that farmers can use old high-denomination notes to buy seeds at state-owned outlets. This comes in addition to the cash withdrawal limit of up to 25,000 rupees per week against crop loans.
धान कट रहा है, खेत तैयार है गेहूं का, और गेहूं बोने के लिए 1 एकड़ में 6,000 रुपये का खर्च आता है, जिसके लिए वह बड़ा नोट लेकर के इधर उधर दौड़ रहा है, कोई उसका सुनने वाला नहीं है। और हम लोगों के दुकानों पर कोई ग्राहक नहीं है। 500-1,000 की नोट हम लोग लेके करेंगे क्या? बैंक में लाइन लगाने पर 3 घंटा 4 घंटा में काम हो रहा है। सबसे बड़ी समस्या बाजार में है।
In order to understand the ground situation, Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman met members of Export Promotion Council in the national capital. Meanwhile, the lines have been shorter outside banks and the ATMs. Small businesses, however, reported huge losses, while daily wage labourers remained jobless as the demonetization move entered its 13th day.
किसानों को तो सबसे ज्यादा नुकसान हुआ है। हमारा तो सारा लेन देन कोऑपरेटिव के थ्रू ही है, तो जो उन लोगों के पुराने खाते किसानों के कोऑपरेटिव बैंक में थे, उनका तो लेन देन ही ठप हो गया, तो इससे बहुत ज्यादा प्रभावित है। और हमारे यहाँ तो सारे यहाँ व्यापारी वर्ग भी किसान ही है।
दिक्कत बोलो नहीं, ये लोग क्या आते हैं, आज 100 किलोमीटर से गाड़ी ले आते हैं, अब वो 500 को 1000 को नहीं चल रहा, नहीं चल रहा। ये शेतकरी लोग नहीं ले रहे, किसान लोग नहीं ले रहे, ये परेशान बहुत है।
Opposition parties found common ground here, with at least 10 parties coming together to take on the government inside and outside Parliament. The Trinamool Congress seems to be spearheading the effort.
जनता इस तकलीफ को भुला नहीं सकता। जनता की तकलीफ को मजाक मत समझिए। आपकी पॉलिसी से जनता बहुत तकलीफ मिल रहा है। टू मच ऑफ पेन। प्लीज, ये स्टेट की इकोनॉमी, देश की इकोनॉमी एकदम सर्वनाश हो गया।
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi took a dig at Prime Minister Narendra Modi and alleged that the Prime Minister was working for a select few.
जहां भी मैं गया, लोगों ने कहा कि उनको बहुत कष्ट हो रहा है। लोग कह रहे थे कि वो लाइन में खड़े हैं और पीछे से, बैंक के पीछे से डील हो रही है, कैश निकाला जा रहा है और चुने हुए लोगों को वो कैश दिया जा रहा है। जो अमीर है वो पीछे से पैसा ले जा रहा है और जो गरीब है वो लाइन में खड़ा हो रहा है। 3 दिन के लिए खड़े रहते हैं, चले जाते हैं वापस, तो बहुत नुकसान हो रहा है लोगों का।
Till Monday, the Reserve Bank of India has disbursed 1.03 lakh crore rupees in cash over the counter or through ATMs since November 10th. However, the centre's next move depends on the Supreme Court decision on its petition seeking transfer of all cases against its demonetization drive. The court will hear the centre's plea on November 23rd. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And it is not just the farmers. Now, demonetization has hit the mostly cash-based retail businesses in the national capital that has witnessed an estimated plunge of 80% in sales ever since the government banned 500 and 1,000 rupee currency notes. Now, traders say that they just do not have enough cash to buy any more stocks.
Daily business in Delhi markets continued to be sluggish on the 13th day of demonetization. Traders and merchants at Kare-Baoli, one of the biggest wholesale markets in the city, have been the worst hit. The usual chock-a-block throng is missing. The few customers were the people with 100 rupee notes and a few others with the new 500 and 2,000 rupee ones.
दिक्कत ये और व्यापार में आ रही है कि पुरानी नोट बंद हो गई है, नई नोट बहुत नई के बराबर आ रही है, ठीक है। यही परेशानी है कि व्यापार में दिक्कत हो रहा है, लगता है कि व्यापार बंद करना पड़ेगा, ना वो पैसे ले रहे हैं, ना सामान आ रहा है आगे से।
Traders claimed that business had shrunk by almost 80% with hardly any cash in the market.
हमारे को पुराने मिल रहे हैं, पुराने ही लाएंगे, नया मिलता नहीं है। अब जाते बैंकों में लाइन लगाएंगे, जब जाके लेंगे, और नहीं दे रहे हैं सामान तो घर जाएंगे, भूखे रहेंगे और क्या करेंगे।
Delhi Trade Association President Vijay Gupta said slow pace of exchange of currency notes has crippled their business.
ये वही पोजीशन है, क्रेडिट का व्यापार होता है होलसेल के अंदर, जब तक वो रुपए लेकर के नहीं आएगा तब तक व्यापार नहीं होगा। आज हम किसी को चेक से पेमेंट देता है हमें, तो हम उस पर विश्वास कैसे करेंगे।
The situation in other markets of Delhi was also similar. The coming days will tell us just how serious will be the effects of the demonetization move. Anu Diwan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, as the borrowers face a cash crunch, the RBI on Monday provided an additional 60 days to repay housing, car, farm and other loans worth up to 1 crore rupees. Well, the move is expected to help the borrowers whose EMIs are due in the first half of the month. Business or personal loan borrowers with loans up to 1 crore rupees from banks or non-banking financial companies will get an extra 60 days to repay. This applies to dues payable between 1st of November 2016 and 31st of December 2016. Demonetization of higher value currency notes has affected normal banking activity, including check clearances. Borrowers are also unable to get payments from creditors due to various restrictions, including cash withdrawal limit of 24,000 rupees per week, limiting their options to repay dues. Many banks have stopped disbursing new loans in the wake of ongoing cash crunch.
All products relating to credit, disbursal of loans, whether it is CC or whether it is OD, whether it is personal loan, whether it is housing loan, might get delayed, might get affected. Almost all the banks and all the bank branches, what they have done is they have increased the number of counters. So the same staff which used to be catering to the loans, the same staff which used to be catering to other products, have all been infused into this.
However, experts feel borrowers will reap the benefits of demonetization as growing deposits in banks may help lower interest rates.
The negatives are short-time, temporary, and to a modest extent, I believe that from 1st January 2017 onwards, we will see only the positive gains, and those gains would be very solid and longer lasting.
So far, after the demonetization decision, banks have received deposits worth nearly 5.12 lakh crore rupees. This is Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
In the news tonight, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. Now, an FIR has been registered against unknown railway personnel in the Indore-Patna Express derailment that claimed at least 145 lives. Now, more than a dozen dead bodies were pulled out from under the debris this morning, while a few others succumbed to injuries in hospitals. Well, all the 14 derailed coaches of the train were also removed from the tracks, clearing the way for other stranded trains. Relatives of missing passengers, however, continue to search for their near and dear ones.
Rescue operations after the derailment of the Indore-Patna Express winded up on Monday as search teams found no hope of finding any more survivors. The derailed coaches were also cleared off the tracks.
हमारी तरफ से वो लगभग पूरा हो चुका है और हम लोगों ने बार-बार सर्च और फिर कंफर्मेटरी सर्च भी कर लिया है और हमारी तरफ से सर्च ऑपरेशन ये पूरा हो चुका है.
But scores of distraught people were seen sifting through the luggage and other belongings piled up at the side, looking for any clue about their missing family members and friends. Several others went from hospital to hospital in search of their loved ones.
मैं झांसी से हूँ, मेरी सगी बहन, छोटी बहन. कोई जगह ऐसी नहीं बची जहाँ नहीं देखा. मेरी मदर है रश्मि द्विवेदी, उनकी एज करीब 70 साल है. मेन तो क्या प्रशासन तक पूरी जानकारी एकत्रित कर ले, उसके बाद ही पूरी हमको भी मिलेगी.
कोशिश हम लोग ये कर रहे हैं कि सारे जितने भी पेशेंट वहाँ से आए हैं पुखराया से, उनको सब लोग हम लोग हैलेट हॉस्पिटल में रखें. 5 लोग जो कि रेजेंसी हॉस्पिटल, जो कि एक प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल है, लेकिन चूंकि वहाँ पे सुविधाएं बहुत अच्छी हैं, इसलिए वहाँ पर भी उनको निःशुल्क भर्ती कराया गया है और अब बाकी लोग यहाँ पर हैं. तो उसमें जो लिस्ट है हम लोगों ने बाहर टांग दिया है और उसको हम हर थोड़ी देर पर अपडेट कर रहे हैं.
Nearly 100 of the over 200 injured are still undergoing treatment at various hospitals in Kanpur and neighbouring districts. Amid scenes of tragedy, a number of good Samaritans took it upon themselves to help the traumatized passengers. Amidst all this, Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu ordered a high-level probe into the incident, promising the strictest possible action against the guilty.
Statutory inquiry by Commissioner of Railway Safety into the accident has been ordered to determine the correct cause of accident. There shall be a separate comprehensive investigation aided by latest technical and forensic analysis by an appropriate agency to look into all possible angles. Strictest possible action would be taken against the guilty.
Rescue teams have completed their work and railways now working to replace the new track to allow free train movement. Rail Minister made a statement assuring strict possible action against guilty. The accident again raises question on the preparedness of authorities.
The accident is one of the worst in at least 6 years. It comes at a time when the Railways has a long-term plan to ensure zero accidents on its network. With Navikram Singh in Kanpur, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, a forensic probe will be conducted into the Patna-Indore Express derailment. The Rajya Sabha was informed of this by Minister of State for Railways, Rajen Gohain. The upper house of Parliament also paid homage to those who died in the tragedy.
Minister of State for Railways Rajen Gohain gave a statement on the train accident in Rajya Sabha on Monday. In a statement tabled in the House, Gohain said a forensic inquiry will be conducted into the incident and the guilty will be punished. Deputy Leader of the Congress in the House, Anand Sharma, however, said that the House had expected Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu to speak.
The Railway Minister made a statement in the other House, but this House is not being given its due respect.
No, that's why he's making statement.
He's not a cabinet minister. No, sir. Sir, well, cabinet minister is not busy. He's available. It's a serious matter.
All the Rajya Sabha members have the right to seek clarification on a minister's reply. The protests over the note ban issue prevented any discussion on this. Deputy Chairperson P.J. Kurian said members can raise questions on the minister's reply later.
Since the House is not in order today, if members want clarification, it can be done on another day. I would like to continue the discussion.
Earlier, when the House assembled at 11 a.m., members condoled the deaths of people in the train tragedy.
The immense loss of precious lives and injury to so many people in this unfortunate tragedy has shocked the nation and is indeed painful. The House joins me in expressing our heartfelt condolences and sympathy to the bereaved families and pray for the speedy recovery of the injured.
On Sunday, the Patna-bound express from Indore derailed 60 kilometers from Kanpur. The government says army personnel assisted by teams of the NDRF are helping in the rescue work. While the centre announced assistance from the Prime Minister's Relief Fund, the Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh governments have also declared similar aid. Panchanan Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
On to some other news now. Well, India on Monday successfully conducted twin trials of the nuclear-capable Prithvi-2 missile from a test range in Chandipur in Odisha. Well, the missile was test-fired twice in quick succession as part of a user trial by the Army with a strike range of 350 kilometers and a capacity to carry 500 to 1,000 kilograms of warhead. The missile was test-fired from the Launch Complex 3 of the integrated test range. Well, the missile is thrusted by liquid propulsion twin engines. It uses advanced inertial guidance system with maneuvering trajectory to hit its target. In a similar trial, India had earlier indigenously test-fired a nuclear-capable Prithvi-2 missile as a part of a user's trial in May 2016. Moving on in the bulletin, well, Union Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar on Monday commissioned INS Chennai, the third indigenously designed guided missile destroyer, into the naval fleet. Well, with a length of 164 meters and displacement of over 7,500 tons, INS Chennai is among the largest destroyers constructed in India. The vessel will be placed under the operational and administrative control of the Western Naval Command. Now, speaking at the occasion, Parrikar called it a historic day for the Indian Navy. He also dismissed Pakistan's recent claims that it had prevented Indian submarines from intruding into their territory. The Defence Minister also hoped that cross-frontier shelling would subside in the near future.
Naval PR has already told you that it's totally blatant lie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, actually right, sir. Yes.
So I don't have to answer beyond that. लेकिन मुझे लगता है अभी थोड़ा पहले से थोड़ी ये temperature थोड़ा cool हुआ है. I hope it cools down further.
And more news from across the country in Nationwide. 32 fishermen were taken into custody by Forest Department personnel for carrying out unlawful fishing activity along the Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary in Odisha. The 4 trawlers were seized along a prohibited marine sanctuary area. The arrested fishermen have been sent to judicial custody under the Wildlife Protection Act and Odisha Marine Fishing Regulation Act. A BSF soldier was killed and 3 others injured in a heavy cross-border firing by Pakistani army in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri sector on Sunday night. As fighting ensued, residents from villages along the frontier were evacuated by security personnel to prevent any civilian casualties. Meanwhile, normal life in Jammu and Kashmir was brought to a halt on Monday as the separatist shutdown resumed after a relaxation of 2 days. At least 100 civilians have been killed and over 6,000 wounded in over 3 months of clashes between protesters and security forces, sparked by the killing of Hizbul terrorist Burhan Wani. Alright, let's get you some international news. Well, as the fight to retake Mosul from Islamic State rages on, Shiite paramilitary forces said that they had cut off all the supply routes of the terrorists. Now, 6 weeks into the start of the offensive, it is still not clear if the Iraqi-led forces are close to victory or if the Islamic State is digging in for a lengthy war of attrition. So far, what is unfolding is suicide bombs going off in street-to-street fighting and a humanitarian crisis. Iraqi Shiite paramilitary groups flashing victory signs as they close in to cut the main supply route to Mosul. 6 weeks into the offensive to retake Islamic State's last major stronghold in the country, government forces are all set to take over the highway that links the Syrian and Iraqi parts of the militant self-declared caliphate. Cutting this supply route will seal off Mosul, as the city is already surrounded to the north, south and east by the Iraqi government and Kurdish Peshmerga forces.
بأكمل المطار تم تدميره من قبل داعش وإن شاء الله في الأيام المقبلة التقدم مستمر بالنسبة لمدينة تل أعفر وطرق إمداد اللي تؤدي من سوريا إلى تل أعفر وإلى الموصل.
But the battle is still not over. Inside Mosul, the coalition is meeting fierce resistance. Coalition fighters are making countless grim discoveries, including mass graves, bodies stuffed into wells, and others hanging from lampposts, all attesting to the brutal resolve of the Islamic State. The UN says close to 59,000 people have been displaced since the start of the offensive. Dozens of civilians are killed, either deliberately targeted by the militants or caught in the crossfire. Save the Children estimates that 6 lakh children are trapped inside Mosul. The IS is kidnapping boys as young as 9 and forcing them to fight on their behalf. Hundreds of abducted people are being used as human shields.
إطعام هؤلاء العوائل كما تواصل تقدمها بالاتجاه العسكري حيا بعد حي. العملية تسير على منهج واضح وبخطى واثقة وحسب ما مخطط له من قبل القيادات العليا.
Mosul is the last major stronghold of Islamic State in Iraq, and the terror group has shown it is willing to go to almost any lengths to hold on to it. Clearly, the fight for Mosul is unlikely to reach a swift conclusion. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And let's get you some more international news in Global Buzz. At least 27 people were killed and dozens are wounded on Monday in a suicide bomb explosion at a crowded Shiite mosque in Kabul. The attacker is said to have entered the Bakir-ul-Olum Mosque during a ceremony. The Taliban, who are seeking to reimpose Islamic law after their 2001 ouster, have denied that they were responsible for the attack. The NATO on Monday said that its bond with the US was strong and that training national armed forces in the Middle East is one of their best weapons in the fight against terrorism. The declaration comes after Trump's election campaign raised fears that he could withdraw funding at a time of heightened tensions with Russia. Volkswagen and its powerful labor unions announced an agreement to cut 30,000 jobs at the core brand. The move will avoid forced redundancies in Germany until 2025. The turnaround plan will lead to 3.7 billion euros in annual efficiency gains. Now to some cricket news now. Well, India have won the second test at Visakhapatnam by 246 runs to take a 1-0 lead in the 5-match series against England. Well, England, who were chasing a victory target of 405, was skittled out by India for just 158 runs on the 5th and the final day of the game. The visitors had resumed their second innings at the overnight score of 87 for 2. Indian bowlers then turned the game on its head this morning, taking 5 wickets in the opening session and then 3 post-lunch. R. Ashwin and debutant Jayant Yadav bagged 3 wickets each, while Mohammad Shami and Ravindra Jadeja took 2 apiece. Earlier, the hosts were bundled out for 204, which gave England a 405-run target. Remember, the first test had ended in a draw, and the third match of the series will be played in Mohali from Saturday.
England is a side that we do not take for granted. We understand that they have quality players. They have players who have played a lot of cricket. Their captain has over 100 test matches. So I have a couple of other players played 100 test matches. So obviously you expect them to show that resilience and character and the fight.
Well, more sporting action in Sports Beat. The Lodha Committee today sought Supreme Court not to appoint former Union Home Secretary G.K. Pillai as observer of BCCI to supervise the board's administration. The committee in its latest report reiterated that office bearers of the cricket board BCCI should be sacked. The BCCI says it will be impossible to implement all the panel's proposals, which include an age and tenure gap for top officials and a one state, one vote policy. The All India Football Federation President Praful Patel said that India will bid for the 2019 FIFA Under-20 World Cup to further develop the game in the country. Patel said that hosting of the tournament will further give a boost to our grassroots initiatives. And Andy Murray outclassed Novak Djokovic 6-3, 6-4 to claim his first ATP World Tour Finals title and secure the year-end top ranking on Sunday. Murray produced a relentless display to overpower the Serb, whom he had also dislodged from the #1 spot earlier this month. Well, that's all in this edition of news. Thanks for watching. Good night.